Hey, welcome back. So this time it's a bit of a different type of video. It's more on the modeling part side of the hobby, and it's featuring models that I think are really awesome, but that I unfortunately do not see fitting in my army or really in my playstyle. Um, maybe there's also a couple of other reasons why I haven't acquired these models yet. So one of them would also be that, for example, for the Dragon Ogres that you can see in this image, is that I think that it's going to cost a lot of time to paint these minis, and I still have a lot of stuff to get painted. So there's always some considerations for buying models for me. So first of all, there's these Dragon Ogres that you can see. So there's different companies that make Dragon Ogres, but I think that most of them really look awesome. So on the left there's two that are produced by Mears Miniatures, and the ones on the right are the Games Workshop ones. So Games Workshop obviously makes a lot of cool models, but I think these Dragon Ogres are really models that have a lot of charm in them. And then the ones of Mears Miniatures, yeah, they have a bit of a more chaos style, I think. Whilst the ones of Games Workshop, they really combine very well the dragon aspect with the ogre aspect for me. So I think these are models that maybe one day I'll get either one of these. But just the concept of a dragon ogre is really cool to me. Um, and seeing them on the battlefield, just the dragon ogre army is just awesome to behold, of course. Yeah, so that is my first pick for models that I might in the future still grab onto. So the second one is this collection of models that you can see now. It's manufactured by Zealot Miniatures, and they have an entire range of crazy looking Minotaur models. So we're staying for this one in the large type of size of models. But the amount of different awesome sculpts for Minotaurs they have is really incredible. So Games Workshop and other companies mostly just have a limited amount of Minotaurs. Zealot Miniatures really has a lot of different ones. So even your rank and file doesn't feel too bland if you have like two identical sculpts in your army. And they have also some awesome poses within these miniatures, and each of these miniatures really tell a story. So you have the Minotaur Shaman. I think you can use him quite well as a BSB. They also have a couple of female Minotaurs actually mixed in, and this Minotaur with the crossbow on his shoulder, I think he really looks epic. And then, of course, they also have other options. For example, this mounted Minotaur. I could very well imagine someone using this as a Beast Lord, actually, on a Razor Tusk chariot. And then in that way, you get a Minotaur-themed army. And if you're planning to make this army, please send me pictures, because I think it's going to look so incredibly awesome. Yeah, so they have a very wide range of sculpts for Minotaurs, and I just took a couple here. But definitely, if you're looking for Minotaurs for awesome sculpts, then have a look at their website. Then for the next one, it's a Chaos Dragon, but it's not a normal Chaos. Well, none of the Chaos Dragons are normal, obviously. So Chaos is something that has been started by Games Workshop, I believe. And they started with the two-headed Chaos Dragon, or the two-necked one, and then because of all the mutations. And Creature Caster took this concept a little bit further with their highly mutated Chaos Dragon. So the way this sculpt works is just so interesting. So you have this giant mouth of the dragon that's just mutated to the point where you can't really establish anymore where the face starts and where it ends. So you have these couple of eyes on the top of the head, but I could also imagine painting the eyes actually somewhere else. So if you follow the mouth all the way down to this pedestal kind of thing that is in between the wings, Then you have these kind of talons coming out next to the mouth, and then underneath there's a purple colored patch of skin. I could also very well imagine painting an eye there, and I think if you paint an eye there and also at the end of the face, then it's gonna really screw with people's minds, and they're gonna be confused as to how this dragon even works. And I think that really captures the spirit of a Chaos Dragon, and I think it's an amazing sculpt. The only thing I am a little bit sad about is that it has this pedestal thing that's quite bland. So normally for dragons, I like them when the riders are just sitting on top. But I can imagine that in this sculpt it didn't really work out the way that the designers wanted it to. But I don't know if this pedestal is a good solution to the problem that they encountered. But otherwise, it's an awesome sculpt, and if I ever get a Chaos Dragon for my Warriors of the Dark Gods, this is going to be the dragon that I'll be getting, even though it does have a price tag attached to it. And then we'll go to these awesome models from Privateer Press. So they're called Nayslayers, and for those not aware, Privateer Press is the company behind Warmachine and Hordes, which is another game system. Warmachine is where you have these warjacks that are robots that are controlled by wizards, and they have to battle it out against each other. And then Hordes is the more nature-inspired equivalent, where you have these gigantic war beasts and stuff that are led into battle. And then there's this one faction called Grymkin, and the Grymkin, they are based on fairy tales, more or less, but in the sense of fairy tales gone wrong. So they also have like this sculpt of a woman with a witch behind her, and then the woman is supposed to seduce the enemy, and the witch is just sucking out their life. And they also have this unit, for example. So these are basically just some gremlins that just found some dead horses, and they just mounted their horses' heads on some sticks, and they're pretending to be knights. And I think this is a really well executed joke, basically. And they also have some other jokes within the range. So they also have some piggyback riders, but then it's actually pigs riding on top of the shoulders of just humans, I think. So they really have some inventive ways of dealing with models. However, it's Privateer Press. Privateer Press always had quite detailed models with poses that are a little bit different from what you usually get. But it also comes with a price tag. So these 5 models, I believe, are about like $40 or so. So I would say that's a pretty hefty price tag. But personally, I would rather use this as an inspiration for a unit of Wolf Riders, where you just take some old horse heads that you have lying around, take some goblins, and then start sculpting from there. Because I think the idea itself is amazing. Just these tiny guys playing around with these horses' heads, pretending to be cavalry. And then I believe in the game they're actually quite good at charging in and dealing damage to others once they charge. But if they are getting hit, then they're just gonna die so quickly. Then let's go to my number 5. So this is the Sea King of Privateer Press, and it's such a gorgeous model with so much detail in it. So it's Privateer Press, the Hordes faction of Trollblood, has 3 gargantuans. So these are models that are insanely big considering the scale. So if you look at this model, you see that it has the hull of a ship mounted on its back, and this ship is kind of like real life size to a normal 28mm model. So in the sense that this entire model that you see in the picture is think like 30 centimeters, 40 centimeters high if you include the all the bits and pieces. So it's a big model indeed, and it has a lot of detail. So obviously it's gonna have a price tag attached to it also. But Privateer Press has 3 of these gargantuan troll guys, and I can imagine each of them being very viable for a like a wasteland behemoth for Warriors of the Dark Gods. And out of the 3, I think that this one is the most charismatic one, or at least the one with the most character. But I could also imagine that it's a pain in the ass to get painted in a right way. Like if you look at all the detail that's in there, and it's an amazing model once you get to paint it fully. So I would love to see it on the table. I would love to own one and have it painted properly. But I think I will struggle to get it painted actually. So this list is my list of models that I think I will never paint in the end, even though I would find it truly amazing to have just a collection of awesomely painted models of this type. So I would love to have a Minotaur army. I would love to have a lot of Dragon Ogres, the Sea King, the Creature Caster Dragon, and I would love to have an army in which this concept of these Nayslayers or any other Grimkin unit basically just fit in very well. If I missed some that you think I really shouldn't have missed, just let me know in the comments below. Also, if you have any models that you think are just truly awesome and everyone should have, also post it in the comments below, because maybe I missed out on some and I would be delighted to see if there's anything that I missed that is actually a blast to paint. Yeah, so that's it for now, and see you next time.